Hey guys, Scott and Nate from PlayYourCourt.com. Today we're going to show you the serve +1, how to win points with just 2 shots. All right guys, so today we're talking about something called the serve +1. This video is for players with a Player Court rating of 60 and up. If you're not in our community or familiar with our rating system, then you hate puppies. That's not true. But we really wish you would join the community. But if you're not in the Player Court community, a Player Court 60 is the equivalent of about a USTA 3.5. So Nate, talk to me, serve +1, what is that? What does that mean?
Serve +1, right? So the biggest weapon in tennis we know is the serve.
It's definitely
right?
my biggest weapon.
But a little known fact is the average rally on the ATP WTA, so for men and women, professionally and collegiate, the average rally is 3.
And that includes the serve, folks. So we're talking serve, return, one more ball, points over.
Yeah, so what I know the number's a little bit funky because we're imagining the points we see are on red clay with Nadal that are 20, 30 balls, but remember, aces bring that number down. But really, these strategies are being set up on high-level players by really hitting a serve that's opening up the court so that they're finishing on a third ball. And so many of you right now, it'll come to mind, some of the patterns that you see from the pros, and we're going to dive into that a little deeper today. We're going to show you 3 serves in the third ball, so the serve +1. And we're going to show you these strategies so you can start implementing them in order to get easier points, so maybe some free points, right? Instead of every point being this arduous battle, let's get some free points out there.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget, the serve is the one shot in tennis where you are starting in position. You can stand more towards the middle of the court, and your opponent starts out of position. We want to take advantage of this, and that's what we're going to really talk about today.
Sounds good. All right, let's hop into it.
All right, guys, so the first pattern we're going to address here is on the deuce side. Right-handed server to a right-handed returner. My goal is to serve out wide, and the +1 is to use all the court space that I've opened up on the ad side to hopefully hit the ball into the open court space. So let's take a look at what that looks like now. Well, I guess that worked, huh?
That was pretty effective.
Yeah, and guys, the best part about this, Nate obviously knows before we film this that I'm serving out wide. My favorite part about this particular strategy, even if he knows it's coming, there's not a whole lot he could really do to change the course of action here. Could he adjust his return over the course of a match? Of course, but really if you do this well, there's not a whole lot your opponent can really do to defend it.
Not a ton. There would be one little tidbit that we'll share at the end to help with some of these strategies. We'll give you kind of the reveal. But if I started trying to play the return down the line, I'm going to make a lot of errors playing too close to the lines. And the truth is, it doesn't necessarily matter that I know it's going there if he's executing the slice serve and the third ball well. A little tidbit, Agassi, and when he was working with Gilbert, I believe it's in his book, read it somewhere. Basically, Gilbert was like, "Hey, Andre, you've got to disguise the toss on your slice serve. You're tossing out to the side. Everyone knows it's coming." And Agassi basically was like, "I don't care. Doesn't matter." And so Gilbert actually got on the court with him, and basically every return that Brad put in trying to fuse the situation, Andre just ripped a winner because the slice serve was good enough and the third ball was good enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you serve far enough out wide, even if your opponent knows it's coming, they're far enough out of position where there's open court space to hit into. So if this is done correctly, really difficult to defend against.
Yes, it is. All right, let's get into the second tactic, still on the deuce court. Let's jump into that action now.
All right, guys, so getting into the second serve +1 strategy, we're talking about serving up the tee and what happens with the ball after that. Important point to realize, I would hit probably about 80–85% of my balls out wide, but you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You want to keep your opponents guessing, even if it's working really well. I want to hit some balls up the tee. So what I'm looking for here and what I know to expect when I serve up the tee to Nate's backhand, it's not a natural shot for him to go inside out to my forehand. So I can expect him to pull the ball inside in down the line. And because I know that, I'm going to look to move around that and hopefully take advantage of an inside out forehand. There is a situation where this doesn't work out completely as planned and I end up in a cross court backhand rally, and that's worst case scenario, a neutral cross court backhand rally. So let's take a look at this now. Hopefully I can get around that return and set the point up with an inside out forehand. Let's take a look.
So guys, you can see there that serve really takes away any angle that I can create with the serve being in the middle. So when I'm trying to play that ball back towards what would be Scott's weaker side, he's stepping around and he has an option. He can go inside out or inside in, and I'm really left guessing, which is a great third ball. I mean, like, if you got your opponent guessing, chances are you're going to win the point, because even if they get to it, it's going to be such a weak reply.
Yeah, and I want to address also, guys, you saw in the last example there, I even got a forehand in the middle of the court. What you can kind of expect here if you're doing this well is to get a ball in that middle chunk of the court. If it's on the forehand side, that's best case scenario. If you have to step around and hit it inside in or inside out forehand, really you're just looking for open court space and a ball to attack. So a lot of ways this can go well.
All right, so on to our third strategy, and this is going to be a body serve. So this could be a flat serve, it could be a kick serve. We just want to make sure that it's not short in the box, that the opponent, the returner, is working around the ball. And this one's going to be great, because now with Scott serving with this out wide serve and the T serve, he's really pitching the far corners of the plate. Right? So in order for me to get a read on either of these balls, I'm going to have to move in to cut the corners off. So what do you do in baseball when the batter crowds the plate?
Hit him in the chest?
That's not nice at all. That's not what you do. But you pitch inside, and that's what the body serve is going to be. Scott's going to pinch inside, and he's going to get me to back off the plate, and then he can go back to that slider, or he can go back to the T serve.
I'm going to hit him in the chest.
All right, so with this, what he's going to expect is with this body serve is that I'm still going to be fairly handcuffed, and the ball's going to come through the center of the court. He still has the option of the sword over the shield, inside out, inside in. If it gets to a backhand, we'll see. We'll see how you problem solve that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
All right, guys, so don't forget, I see high-level players, mid-level players, they're thinking about where they're going to serve, and they're thinking out wide or up the tee. Don't forget about the jammer. This serve at the body really can do some damage.
It makes both serves better too, right? Like if I don't know where it's going, if I'm trying to sit on the forehand out wide or the backhand tee, this really takes me out of my comfort zone. All right, and so we're going to start talking about the ad court. You lefties, I know you're so happy about your lefty out wide serves.
One of our good buddies over at Central Tennessee and Westerman's a lefty. We're talking about you, Ian.
Nasty, it's so unfair. All right, so you lefties on the Deuce court, it's going to be the same patterns. It's just going to be reversed. And as we come over to the ad court, the strategies really hold true, essentially the same. Just the result is a little bit different. So obviously on the wide serve, for us righties, when we're hitting the kicker, maybe the flat serve, that tends to be a genetic-based serve. We need to have some height if we're going flat over the high part of the net. But definitely the kick serve, we're going to start looking at these backhands coming cross court. But again, we can utilize the inside out, inside in. If I'm taking my backhand and trying to get to Scott's backhand, he can really kind of sit on it. If you get a backhand, what would the strategy be?
I'm probably going to play the ball cross court unless you're so far out of position that,
little shot
I've
tolerance.
got. Yeah, for sure. And guys, one thing to really pay attention to here, if you serve the ball out wide on the ad side as a right-handed player, there is 75% of the court should be your forehand. So the second the point starts, we talk about serve +1. There's no faster way to get to the +1 than to get to an aggressive ball on your forehand side. When you serve that ball out wide on the ad side, 75, almost 80% of the court, if you're moving your feet and ready to move around this ball, are going to be aggressive forehands.
All right, let's jump into it, guys.
All right, guys, so as you can see, when I serve out wide here, it puts me in a really good position to get forehands and to hit into open court space. You'll notice also on that last ball, best case scenario, if your opponent redirects down the line, they're at a position, they hit the ball the shortest distance down the line. You saw how much easier it was for me to actually take control of the point and immediately hit a winner cross court into the open court space. So hopefully this strategy and what you saw in the last 3 points really shows you why this works.
Yeah, I mean, it's an effective serve for sure. The ball got back where I wasn't because I got it to you quicker.
Yeah, and you're going to see that a lot, guys. If you're hitting a big serve, your opponent's going to catch it late sometimes, whether it's on purpose or not. Sometimes they're going to hit that ball down the line. That's a bonus. You should be hitting cross-court forehand winners all day.
You saying I was late?
It felt a little late. I don't know.
I'm chronically late in punctuation, but that serve was not late. All right, guys, so we're going to combo the last one, all right? We want to go over the last two, but there's a quick little note I want to make. A lot of you out there are overplaying the tee on the ad court.
As servers.
As servers, yeah, because, and it's fine, like if you've got the big flat one, that is totally fine, but without having the out wide serve, you're getting a lot of righties sitting on their forehand and they're doing some damage, particularly with deep, heavy balls. So you've got to mix these two serves up. All right?
This is not one you're going to use a large percentage of the time. This is to keep them guessing. At least for me personally, that's how I'm using this situation.
Yeah, and typically when you're seeing aces on this serve, it's because you've really been hitting the out wide or the jammer up appropriately, or to being effective in those two serves. So this last series here, we're going to take the restrictor plate off. Instead of just demoing...
Give me some options.
Yeah, instead of just demoing the last two, we're going to let Scott use all three pitches. The out wide, whether he wants a kick or he hits it flat, the body serve, and the tee serve. And the tee serve, for you guys out there, maybe Scott will throw one in. The slice serve is really effective on this one too, because even if I'm sitting on it and I set my feet, it trails away and it's a little bit more difficult to track. All right, so the last little demo here.
Yep, let's do it.
Scott gets to do whatever he wants. We'll see what happens.
Freestyle. All right, guys, for this first one, I'm going to go slice up the tee.
Did you tell the camera you were going to double fault, Scott?
Yeah. Ooh, get you some.
And I even read it. I read the slice serve on the tee.
All right, guys, I'm going to go flat out wide here. Definitely going to get at least a weak ball back that I'm going to attack with my forehand, maybe even an ace if we're lucky. Let's check it out. Ooh, let's go. All right, guys, last point here. I'm going to mix it up. This time I'm going to go at his body with a slice serve, try and jam him up and attack my forehand. All right, guys, so you can see there when I'm able to mix it up, Nate really doesn't stand a chance. So,
you done?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm definitely serving in the next video. That is for sure. Yeah, guys, it's tough because not knowing where the serve's going. If I sit on one, maybe I read it and I get lucky. But even on the one I read and I thought I hit a pretty good ball, there was so much court exposed. But the vast majority, I'm just behind the 8 ball trying to read what's happening, and Scott's not really giving away anything on his toss. All right, so guys out there, I know what you're thinking. It's like, yeah, it must be nice if you have a 5-0 level serve and a big forehand. The action really starts by just thinking about what you're doing before you serve. Right? And it doesn't matter if you're a 3-5. It doesn't matter if you're a 5-5.
Gotta have a routine.
Gotta have a routine, and you gotta have a plan. Okay, because there's no way to know where the ball is, where it's going to go if you haven't made a decision of where you're going to hit it. Right? So before you even step up to the line, think about where you're going to hit your serve, and then you put a hypothesis out there, right? And maybe you're wrong, but if you follow our guidelines, this is where the vast majority of these returns are going to go.
Yeah, you can see the future here. Yeah. We're teaching psychic today. I mean, come on, this is psychic class.
Yeah, teaching people how to anticipate that second ball and capitalizing on that third ball. And that's really what the heart of the video is about, is the third ball. Put away the third ball, play shorter points by serve +1.
All right, guys, hopefully this instruction helped. Obviously, with Serve Plus One, the instruction looks a little bit different for you super high-level players versus intermediates. We don't know a ton about you, so take this information, do what you can with it. But if you want more custom coaching, click the button or the link below, answer some questions for Nate and I, and sign up for our membership. We'll then send you custom video coaching every single Tuesday to help you with your specific problems that you have going on at your skill level, and we'll even pair you with some new friends in your area to play some practice in matches against. So click the button or the link below. We'll do the rest. Also, if you like our instruction, or if you just like Nate's face, click that like button below, comment, tell us what you want to see more of, and be sure and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. We'll see you guys soon.